Okay, keeping detailed records. We talked about the CRM. Okay, word of mouth referrals. You guys know that I know that these are the best. If somebody refers you, then that's it. And when I talk to you about prior client marketing, and we're going to be getting into that in a bit, not tonight, but one of the things I talk to you about is building brand fans, BRAND, brand fans. Your business is a brand. Okay, and so what happens is when somebody comes into the lunchroom and you're sitting there, and let's just say Ricky's in the lunchroom having lunch and in a business, and somebody comes in and says, wow, Ricky, here's what happens. We bought or put a contract on this fabulous house and we're so excited, and we've been knocked out on a couple of offers, and this was one my wife really loves. I love it. It's in a great area. And you know what their buddy says? Wow, I got the perfect home
Well,
inspector for you. When their buddy says, I got the perfect home inspector, and he says, you know what, it's Ricky, or it's Gazelle, or it's Mike, or it's Brandon, whatever the name comes out of his mouth, that is a brand fan. So you know what happens is his buddy calls you up on the phone. He doesn't have to start off with how much does it cost, does it? Hey, we bought a new home. When can you get out here? How quickly can you get
yeah,
it done? The price discussion is a secondary consideration when it comes from a word of mouth referral. And we've tried to emulate that with reviews online, and we've been very successful with it. But there's not as much online search today as there's been. We cannot let that happen. We have to say online is one technique of many that we'll engage in to get leads. Okay, because we're talking about leads, man, going in that funnel. Okay. Joe Girard was passionate for sales. Ken Compton is passionate about sales. I love to teach it. I love to do it. And you know what else? I like to damn win. I like to win.
Who's he remind you of?
Yeah.
That's all about business, right?
It's all about business.
One thing I know that we're probably going to come back to it a little bit. I did Ken, I reviewed this outline here before the call here. That's the one, the word of mouth. That's the one that I circled because it is still the most obvious lost opportunity for us as home inspectors in general as an industry, right? We don't do anything to stay in touch with our prior clients. And so I think that's just a huge opportunity for us to really build, like you're saying, that brand fan, so that anytime someone's on Facebook and they're asking for an inspector referral, or they're asking their friends, hey, we're buying a house, who would you recommend? It's got to be us every time, because nobody else is going to do that.
Right.
No one else does that marketing.
So, Keith, when I got in this business, I had a full head of hair and it was black. All right. That'd been over 20 years ago. I've been coaching and teaching home inspectors. All right. For 20 plus years, I have said, are you marketing your prior clients? You know why? Because at Southern Home Inspection Services, 1/3 of our business came from there every year. That was no accident. That was no freaking accident. And we published a newsletter manually. We did all of those things manually. There was no cool programs. When I started, you hand wrote the inspection reports. Okay, so there was none of that. And 1/3 of our business came from our brand fan. Where home inspectors are actually going to really have to work to fill that funnel if they're thinking about it. So thank God, whatever it takes.
The majority of them won't do it.
Good.
Because I talked to them. I talked to my competition, and they just, they're doing one a day, maybe 3 a week, and they're happy. And it's like, we got one pie to eat out of, and I want the majority of that pie. And I tell them that. I said, I'm going to market, and I'm going to take most of that pie away from you. And he laughed. Oh, you can't do it. Well, I'll do it, because I've done it before.
When I spoke at the international convention for one of the national franchises, one of the guys, it was Amerispec, I'll say that on the call. I didn't want to say it, but one of the guys came up to me and said, he was in Atlanta, and he said, I objected to you coming and speaking here. I just want you to be straight. I'm gonna be straight up about it. And I said, well, that's interesting, and I'm fine with that. Would you just mind sharing with me how come? He said, because when you owned Southern Home Inspection Services, you kicked my ass in the market every day. And when you sold that business, I started to get some market share. And I don't want you up here teaching all of my competitors what you know. And I'm like, well, that's totally fair. Thanks for saying that. But you
Right.
know what, Keith, it is possible. We started off, I'm not a home inspector when I started. First 5 years I wasn't. In the third year, we were over $1 million in annual sales, and we were the third largest. When we finished, we were the first largest because we market. I'm a marketer, not anything else. I'm a marketer. Sure.
Right.
Did I do some home inspections? Yeah, but that's not what I do.
But that
Okay.
that basic marketing strategy, what I guess what I've done probably 4 years ago is now shifting where we used to be in the real estate offices all the time. And since COVID, we have not been there because nobody is there.
Right. No,
These
you're exactly
offices,
right.
these offices are vacant.
Hmm.
You might have the
Mhm.
gatekeeper and maybe a couple of agents in there, but the high producers are out there hustling. And what we've kind of done now is we started marketing into it's called Real Producer. And we're the only home inspector advertising in that publication. And that is starting to get a lot of little traction. I know I talked to you about that. And it's like we're getting a little bit more traction out of it because it's marketing to the high producers out there and they see us and we go to their events, cross marketing,
Hmm.
when they have like socials and that, we'll go out and, hang out with them and introduce ourselves to the other top producers instead of shotgunning it and just rifling down to the top producers.
Yeah. And you're consistent in your efforts. You've been
You
doing
have
it a
to
long time.
you have to be out there and and just be out there and just promote yourself to anybody that'll listen to you and what you do and what you can provide for them. That's the key.
That is it. What can you do for me, baby? So the strategies that you
I
just
can do
said,
any.
the ones that we did in the past in office marketing and all those are off the website. What we've done, we're retooling everything for today's market. And we're going to train you exactly how to do it. We're going to give you the content to do it. We're going to give you the letter, the email, the whole thing, whatever you need to make that happen. We're going to give it to you. I just produced a whole course. Think about this. Have you ever thought of building relationships with personal financial advisors? I just put together a huge course on that. I finished it today, turned it over to the team. But personal financial advisors, those people are talking to them. And I mean, our people talk to us when we get ready to buy a house. They produce all the financial documents. We talk about it. But what about if finally, I say this all the time, is the cost of the home the sales price? Of course it's not. How about all of those repairs that are not done by the seller or they're done incorrectly? That's the cost of the house. So your personal financial advisor is talking to you about it. And how about, hey, Ken is my personal financial advisor, and I want to remodel my kitchen. Is now a smart time? And what kind of return on investment can I get from that? Oh, I'm wanting to sell this property in 3 years. They know all these things about you. They help you make financial decisions in every other area. Real estate is one of them as well. We can't ignore it. I just put a killer course together for it. So we'll be rolling it out to you guys in the new home inspector help. Okay. So today we're going to focus on this. So record-breaking achievements, 1,425 cars sold in 1 year. Okay. That's pretty powerful.